Welcome back, everyone. Today we're diving into a fascinating chapter from Nietzsche's Zarathustra called The Sublime Ones, which offers a sharp critique of a certain type of intellectual.
That sounds really interesting. When Nietzsche talks about a sublime one, what kind of person does he actually have in mind?
He paints a very specific picture. It's a solemn, serious person, a penitent of the spirit, who has dedicated themselves to the pursuit of knowledge, but seems joyless.
So this is someone who is incredibly intelligent and has worked hard, but their seriousness makes them almost ugly in Zarathustra's eyes.
Exactly. Zarathustra says he saw this person standing there so seriously with an upraised chest, and his first reaction was that his soul laughed at this person's ugliness.
It seems a bit harsh to laugh at someone for being serious. What is it about this person's seriousness that Nietzsche finds so problematic?
He uses a powerful metaphor. This person is a hunter who has returned from the forest of knowledge with his prize, which is a collection of ugly truths.
Okay, so he's successfully captured difficult knowledge, but it sounds like this success has come at a very high personal cost.
It has. He's rich in torn clothing and covered in thorns from his hunt, but Zarathustra notes, I saw no rose. He has the struggle, but none of the beauty or joy.
And what does he mean when he says a wild beast still gazes out of his seriousness? Is he saying the struggle never ended?
Precisely. He's like a tense tiger, always on the verge of springing. The fight for knowledge has turned him into a permanently tense, unconquered beast himself.
That sounds incredibly exhausting to live like that. I can see why Nietzsche would find that state of being unappealing, or as he puts it, not to his taste.
And that's a key word. Taste. He makes a bold claim that all of life is a constant dispute, a constant argument about taste and what has value.
So when he talks about taste, he doesn't just mean personal preference, like whether you prefer coffee or tea.
No, not at all. For him, taste is about being a weigher with scales. It's the active process of judging what is valuable, what has weight, and what is worthy.
So this sublime intellectual, with all his heavy truths and seriousness, is ultimately not valuable or tasty in Zarathustra's judgment.
Not yet, anyway. But Nietzsche provides a path forward. He says that only when this sublime one becomes weary of his own seriousness will his beauty finally begin.
It sounds like the first step is a kind of self-overcoming, a need to get tired of the very identity that he has built for himself.
That's the absolute core of it. He must turn away from himself to overleap his own shadow and step out of the shade and into his sun.
That's a beautiful image. He says this person has sat in the shade for too long and has almost starved on his own expectations.
Yes, this isolation from the real, warm, sunlit world has made him pale and filled his mouth with contempt for the earth. He is resting, but not truly at peace.
So what's the alternative? Nietzsche introduces a really interesting comparison here, saying this person should be more like an ox.
It seems strange at first, but it's a powerful analogy. He wants him to be like a strong, white ox whose happiness smells of the earth and who finds worth in earthly things.
So it's about grounding himself and finding joy in the physical world, rather than living purely in the abstract realm of ideas and showing contempt for everything else.
Exactly. He needs to embrace the tangible world. Nietzsche also says the person's own achievements, his deed, still casts a shadow over him.
What does that mean, to be overshadowed by your own actions? Is it that he can't move past his identity as a doer or a hunter?
That's a perfect way to put it. He has the strong shoulders of the ox, the strength, but Nietzsche now wants to see the eye of the angel, which represents a higher grace.
And this leads to another fascinating idea, that he must redeem his monsters and enigmas and transform them into heavenly children.
This is about transformation. The difficult knowledge he's acquired shouldn't remain as heavy, ugly burdens. He must turn them into something beautiful, creative, and joyful.
So the purpose of gaining knowledge isn't just to possess it, but to use it as a raw material for creating beauty and wisdom.
You've nailed it. His knowledge, as it is, has not yet learned to smile or to be without jealousy. His passion hasn't yet become calm in beauty.
This seems to be the central theme then. the movement from power and knowledge towards beauty as the ultimate goal.
Yes, and Nietzsche emphasizes that true fulfillment, or the end of longing, is found not in satiety, just being full, but specifically in beauty.
And he says that for the hero, or the sublime one, achieving beauty is actually the hardest thing of all. Why is that?
Because it can't be attained by sheer force of will. He says beauty is unattainable by all ardent wills. It requires a different approach than conquering a monster.
So how does he define this elusive beauty? If it's not about straining or willpower, then what is it?
He gives a wonderful definition. He says, I call such condescension beauty when power becomes gracious and descends into the visible.
Wow. So it's strength that doesn't need to show off. It's power expressed with a sense of ease, grace, and gentleness.
That's the paradox. The hardest thing for the sublime one is to stand with relaxed muscles and with unharnessed will. It's a form of surrender.
And he specifically wants this from the powerful. He says, let thy goodness be thy last self-conquest. It's the final boss for the hero.
Exactly. He laughs at the weak who think they're good just because they have crippled paws and can't do any harm. True goodness comes from powerful beings choosing to be gracious.
He also brings in another great analogy to explain this integration of strength and grace, the pillar.
Yes, he says the sublime one should strive to be like a pillar. The higher it rises, the more beautiful and graceful it becomes on the outside, while getting harder and more supportive internally.
That's a fantastic image for what he's describing. It's not about giving up strength for beauty, but about integrating them so they grow together.
And eventually, this pillar, this sublime person, will become beautiful and will be able to hold a mirror up to his own beauty without shame or seriousness.
And this whole journey leads to a point where the soul thrills with divine desires, and there's even adoration in one's vanity.
It's a complete transformation of the self, which leads to his final crucial point. He calls it the secret of the soul.
Okay, I'm ready for it. What is the final secret that unlocks this transformation?
The secret is this. Only when the hero has abandoned the soul, when that striving, serious identity is let go, the superhero, the Übermensch, finally approach.
So to become the next version of yourself, the superhero, you have to completely let go of the hero persona you've worked so hard to build.
That is the ultimate message. It's a profound call to move beyond a heavy, burdened strength and toward a light, graceful, and life-affirming power that finds its highest expression in beauty.